Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the virtual college fair tonight. We have a great program for you this evening. Just a few housekeeping items before we get started. You will be able to use the Q&A button on your screen to type the questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and your microphone are off, so panelists cannot see or hear you, but they are taking questions in that Q&A section at the bottom of your screen. This is just one of the many sessions that is happening. So there's another group of sessions happening in the hour after this tonight. So be sure to sign up for some additional sessions. This session is also being recorded, so it will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. With that, I'd like to now turn it over to our presenters. First up is the University of San Francisco.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name is John Rice. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I'm the Associate Director of Admission at the University of San Francisco. Also, importantly, the San Jose Admission Counselor. So if a student's from San Jose, I am the person that reads their application, and I'm excited to work with you. I'm going to spend a couple minutes giving you a little overview of USF with the context, knowing that we can't cover everything. So if you're live, definitely use the chat box to ask questions, but also I'll share my contact information to stay in touch. I think when we think about the college process for all of you, it really is about fit, finding a school where you're going to thrive, be happy, healthy, and successful. So the way I want to contextualize my comments about USF is how do we fit into the landscape of higher education, and why would a student choose USF? I think the first thing to know is our size. We are a medium-sized institution. We have a little under 7,000 undergraduates. For the majority of students I work with, that's kind of the perfect size. It's small enough that there is a sense of community, of family. It's large enough that there's privacy, that there's opportunity. And that reflects in the classroom as well, and as well as our student body. I think the other reason, obviously, that stands out about USF, maybe the first big thing, is that we are the University of San Francisco in the heart of San Francisco. We're the oldest university in the city. We sit on a 55-acre campus in the exact center of the city, just 3.5 miles to downtown to your right, or to the, I should say to the east, 3.5 miles to the beach to the west. We give every student an unlimited public transit pass as part of tuition and fees. At the same time, it's a 55-acre campus in the city. So if you're looking for a traditional college campus feel, you're going to get that at the University of San Francisco, but then you get all the benefits that San Francisco has to offer. And I would argue to anyone, if you're looking to go to college in a city, there's no better city in the world to go to college than San Francisco because of the diversity of opportunity. Think about it. Every industry is represented here. Every professional dream you could ever have can be met in this city. And also any personal interest you have can be met in San Francisco. And then for all of you, it's wonderful because it's just far enough away that it feels far from home, but it's really not. The other thing that I would say is that we're a Jesuit Catholic institution, and this is my favorite part of USF, and I actually say that as a non-Catholic, and that's because we don't take a dogmatic approach to our Catholic tradition. We know that every student's on their own journey towards faith, but instead we think about the reality that we are living in a very unjust world and in unequal times. And so the emphasis in a Jesuit education and a USF education is always going to be one on justice. How are you going to use your education to serve others? So if you're in the performing arts program, that might mean you spend a semester working in the county jail, co-creating a performance piece with the inmates. If you're in our nursing program, that means you'll do incredible clinical opportunities at different hospitals and top hospitals, but you also might be in an underserved neighborhood. We want to make sure that you're thinking about how you're lifting up others with your education. This also is related to who goes to USF. So if you look at the screen here, we are the third most ethnically diverse college in the United States. There's no racial majority, there's no ethnic majority, there's no religious majority. We have a large number of first-generation college students. We have students from all different backgrounds. So the goal as part of a Jesuit education is to give you this perspective of the world, and you get that here at USF. Academically, there's a ton of programs, about 70 majors and minors. All of them are going to be rooted in a liberal arts approach where the classes are going to be very discussion-based, about 22 students per class. And with the exception of our engineering and nursing programs, we don't actually make you choose your major till the end of your sophomore year. So if you're like me and you weren't 100% sure what you want to study, that's okay. You have everything on this list available to you. And actually everything on here is a minor as well. So if you want to major in something like biology, minor in music because you love that, you can do that. I would also say our programs are designed to be kind of academics to action. So we try to get every single student a minimum of 3 internships before you graduate. So we take a traditional approach in the classroom of discussion, of working directly with faculty, but then we want to connect what you're doing in the classroom to the outside world and to get you ready to launch your life. And ultimately, our graduates come out with salaries in the top 3% of all college graduates nationwide. So we've had a lot of success with that at USF. In terms of the application process, I want to take a second on this just because we know the level of stress is high this year. We are in the Common Application. We are a test optional institution. And this is really rooted in our Jesuit values. We did this prior to COVID-19. We want to focus on your academic experience in high school first, and so we don't require tests. Also this year, we're not requiring a letter of recommendation. Not that you can't get one, but just the fact that we know so many students feel like in this virtual environment, they feel like they don't know their teachers and counselors as well. So to summarize things as I wrap up, I want you to think about USF as a place where you can make a difference for yourself, educate yourself, find balance in cura personalis, where we say care for the whole person. So your academic interests as well as your personal interests. But then importantly, think about how you can utilize this incredible city where you'll find a wonderful, diverse community on our campus, but then you are going to be a member of the city of San Francisco and all that the city has to offer professionally and personally as well. So I put the dates and deadlines up for you on the screen. We offer both early decision and regular decision, as well as early action. A fun fact for you, the acceptance rate is about the same across all of them. It's about 70% admit rate, with the exception of our engineering and nursing programs, which have about 20 to 30% admit rate. And finally, as I wrap up, I want to stay in touch with you. There's no way we can cover a college in 6 minutes. This is the start of a conversation. So my email, my phone number, please reach out to me directly so that I can support you. That is my goal. If you love USF, that's awesome. If you don't, that's fine too. Our goal is to get you to higher education in a place where you're going to thrive. And so with that, I will stop screen sharing and turn it back to Courtney.
Thanks very much, John. Next up, you're going to hear from the University of Redlands.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bibiana Romero. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at the University of Redlands. I'm excited to present on behalf of our university. I am the territory manager for San Jose, so I'll also be reading all of your applications. A little bit about the University of Redlands. We are founded in 1907. We're in the middle of Southern California, about an hour from LA. You see my background, we're closer to the San Bernardino Mountains, so we definitely offer just a wide a range of opportunities for you to be connected in Southern California. Our mission here is to educate our students in the heart and the mind. A little bit how you can see that play out is educating the heart really speaks to our student life and community on campus. We have a little bit over 2,400 current undergraduate students studying at our school. We do have housing guaranteed all 4 years as well. If you're planning to live on campus, you'll know that you have that guarantee, that you will know you'll have a housing security spot. Some other program highlights, we have a great study abroad program for students that want to go abroad. We have various clubs. We're a Division III school. If you're planning to play a sport, we have a very active Greek life as well. So I think a lot of our students build that community, whether it be in the residence halls, through one of these clubs and organizations, or maybe academically through their peers and their faculty. With our liberal arts education, our students are able to not only take, a breadth and depth of multiple classes, but they're also able to, pursue that major that they want to do. Our average class size is 17 students. Our student to faculty ratio is 13:1. So our faculty are very hands-on with our students. They get to know them throughout the classroom experience and provide advising experiences for them as well. One of the unique programs that we have is our Johnson Center for Integrative Studies, where students are able to create their major and then name their degree what they would like. So our students are able to really pick out those areas that they want to focus on and then be able to also name their degree what they would like. Some examples are in the bottom as well. For our application processes, these are our timelines that we had for first-year students and transfer students. Some of the general requirements you see outlined there. A big change for us is that we are now a test optional admissions university. So that means that we will no longer require students to submit their test score. This is something that we also did prior to COVID, and it's a permanent change. I know there was a few questions that were emailed to us, and I just want to cover a few about our merit scholarships as well. So we do offer merit scholarships, and the test scores will not be part of that evaluation process. We mostly focus on their overall GPA and their completed application. So if you do apply test optional, know that we're still going to review your application holistically. Yes, we want to know how well you did academically, but we also want to get to know you through the application process. Regarding AP testing and those scores, we understand that right now it's a very unique situation through the pandemic, and some tests really won't reflect the true test scores that the students got. And so we know we're going to give students that benefit of the doubt and look more at their high school transcript for that test as well. With the deferral process, we did experience an increase in deferrals this past year, but that's not going to affect this incoming first year class for fall 2021. Due to the uniqueness of the admissions world this year, we're not sure how many applicants we're going to get. So as long as a student has their completed application, and depending on how many students we get from fall 2020 to come back to the university, we'll know a little bit more about our numbers. I'll skip over to our financial aid. I think I might be running out of time. But these are some of the ways that we break down our financial aid. Our largest one is that merit scholarship, which I mentioned. All students who apply to the university will qualify for that scholarship. Our talent scholarship is an opt-in scholarship, so there's a separate application that students will need to fill out. And the university grants is additional money that students are given during their financial aid. So 90% of the students that apply at Redlands do receive some type of merit aid, and so we want to encourage students to apply. If you like Redlands, you like our location, we have what you want to study, definitely give us a try and apply. And then once you receive your acceptance letter and your financial aid letter, then you'll know a little bit more about if Redlands would be that good fit for you. One of the last initiatives that I'll share is our Redlands Promise, which means that any student coming to study at the University of Redlands will graduate in 4 years. If for some reason that doesn't happen due to class availability or issues with the registrar, then Redlands will pay for that extra class or extra semester for the student to finish their degree from the University of Redlands. So this is a promise that the Office of the President and the university is making to all incoming students. 90% of our students, after completing their bachelor's from the University of Redlands, are able to transition into the workforce, graduate school, professional schools, that next step of their life that they're pursuing. Thank you all so much. My name is Viviana Romero, and please, yes, use the chat box and I'll answer more questions there.
Viviana, that's a great reminder. Everyone, don't forget to put those questions in the Q&A box at the bottom. Next, we're going to make our way to the Midwest, and I'd like to introduce the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign.
All right. Hi, folks. My name is Kenny Tran, and I am a regional admissions officer for the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. I'm based out in San Francisco, and I cover our entire Northern California territory. Thank you all for being here. I'm seeing some very familiar names, so I'm excited to share more about the University of Illinois with you all. So for the last 150 years or so, our students, alumni, and faculty have really come to shape the world in many different ways. So beginning with their involvement in our campus community, our students have really gone to innovate and inspire new and better solutions to global problems. So some examples of this include the development of the world's first web browser, for example, which was Mosaic back in 1993, which has since paved the way for the creation of the modern day internet as we know it, and eventually, of course, led to the start of other Illinois alumni projects like YouTube and PayPal. For any tech buffs in the audience, and I know there are plenty at Mitty, you may have heard of inventions like LEDs, MRIs, integrated circuits, and transistors, even JavaScript, more Illinois creations. But if you actually fast forward to 2020, we have actually begun to perform saliva-based testing for COVID-19, a method that our campus researchers that have actually developed that allow for results just within a few hours, helping to ease the burdens of costly tests and time delays in getting results from traditional nose swab testing. We actually have one of the most aggressive testing systems for COVID-19 in higher education, testing between 10 to 20,000 people on campus every single day, and actually accounting for 2% of all testing that's currently being done in the United States at this moment. And so now we're actually working with the FDA for full approval and to expand this testing nationwide. So these are just some of the projects that have come out of the University of Illinois that really highlight what we call the power of I and its global impact. So at the University of Illinois, we have close to 34,000 undergraduate students with a total enrollment of over 52,000 students across all 50 United States and 113 different countries, making us one of the largest and most diverse post-secondary institutions in the United States. We have about 25% of our undergraduates coming from domestic out-of-state territories, a majority coming from the West Coast, primarily from California, but more specifically from the Silicon Valley. So we're located in central Illinois, which is about 2 hours south of Chicago and about 2 to 2.5 hours from Indianapolis and St. Louis, giving our students access to 3 major metropolitan areas within a reasonable drive. What's really great about attending school at U of I is that you really get to enjoy living in the twin towns of Champaign as well as Urbana, which we consider a micro-urban community, meaning you have a thriving arts and culture scene where you can have that that you can find in like a major city, but everywhere is still very accessible by walking, biking, or just simply driving. As the number 15 public university in the country, we have over 150 majors across 11 different academic communities, ranging from our more established and well-known programs like the Granger College of Engineering, which is ranked 6th in engineering undergraduate programs, to our Geese College of Business, also a top 10 public business program in the country. We even have newer and up-and-coming colleges, such as the School of Information Sciences, which houses one of our newest undergraduate majors in information sciences. And by having such an expansive and diverse collection of majors at the university, it really allows you to get a very specialized educational experience. So we don't just have a general business admin program that you might find elsewhere, but you can actually choose to study very specialized areas of business, like accounting, finance, information systems, and even supply chain management. An important aspect of student life at U of I is your involvement in internships, research, and study abroad, things that we believe really make for the robust learning experience during your time as an undergraduate. So you'll find that nearly 70% of our students will participate in internships and or research of some kind. And while we have support services such as a career center to assist our students in finding and seeking out those co-ops and internships while on campus, I've come to really find that our students are very proactive. And so they'll actively just seek out these opportunities on their own. We also have a research park located on campus, one of the few college campuses to actually have one, and they house Fortune 500 companies such as Capital One, State Farm, Yahoo, and Caterpillar that employ undergraduate interns in a variety of industries. Within Research Park is Enterprise Works, which is a 43,000 square foot startup incubator that serves as a facility and resource center for our budding entrepreneurs and has launched over 200 startup companies since 2003. In terms of the actual academic research though, we are a Research One institution, so you can start as early as your freshman year if you'd like, although sophomore through senior year is typically more common. And depending on when you actually conduct your project though, I do like to say that you have a chance to be published in a real research journal before you can even legally buy a beer in some cases. For any of our engineers in the audience, the Granger College is also consistently recognized as the most cited in the entire world for engineering research, just really showcasing the amount of research that's currently being produced by our students and faculty alike. And finally, you can take your internship and research opportunities abroad if you like, or just simply take traditional classes, with approximately 30% of our students choosing to study abroad within a given year, from studying marine ecology in the Galapagos Islands, for example, or to doing an internship at a cheese factory in Rome. With regards to the fall 2021 admission cycle, we have gone test optional for applicants applying for admission, merit scholarships, and honors consideration. This policy is currently in effect for seniors only, and we will evaluate the possibility of extending it for future applicants in the coming year. With that being said though, not having test scores will not disadvantage you as an applicant this year, as we utilize a holistic review process for admission, and so we'll consider your grades, activities, and essay response to make it informed.
I think we might have lost some video or some audio from Kenny. Let's just wait to see if we can get that back.
Can you guys hear me? Hello?
I can hear you, Kenny.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, so with that being said, hopefully everyone can hear me. I guess raise your hand if you can't, but I'll answer questions after this too. But with that being said, not having test scores will not disadvantage you as an applicant. We utilize a holistic review process. And so this will still consider your grades, activities, and your essay response to make an informed decision. Something we won't consider is bribes. Maybe other schools might, we don't. But there are no changes otherwise other than that. There are no changes to our policies for AP credit as well. We don't consider AP test scores in our admission process, but if students enroll, we will continue to give credit for passing scores, regardless of whether the tests were taken in a school or home setting. Finally, the amount of students that deferred their admission from the last cycle to this cycle will not impact the admission process and the selectivity for this incoming class. And with that, my contact information is on screen. I'll send it into the chat as well. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. All right, thanks guys.
Thanks, Kenny, and I'm sorry I lost your audio. Maybe
No, you're good.
Maybe nobody else did, and that would be great. And I'm sorry I interrupted. So next up is Michigan State University.
Good evening. My name is Naomi Schoenhals, and I am with Michigan State University. I'm a regional admissions representative located in the San Francisco Bay Area. Michigan State University is a large public research institution. We're located in a college town that is called East Lansing, Michigan. It's not difficult to get to East Lansing from the South Bay. We have a little airport in Lansing, Michigan, which is the state capital, about 15 minutes from campus. The larger airport is Detroit. That's about an hour and 20 minutes away. And there is a very nice shuttle service called the Michigan Flyer that runs multiple times a day from the airport right to campus. We have about 50,000 students total. We do focus on the undergraduate student, and we have students from every state in the United States and from about 120 different countries. So we truly are a global institution, and California is currently the third most represented state on our campus. We have over 200 different areas of study, and popular areas of study for students from the West Coast include, first of all, our business program for sure. We're ranked #1 in the country for supply chain management and highly ranked in all other areas. We have a nationally ranked engineering program, and we're strong in automotive engineering. We have a medical school, a nursing school, and a pharmacy school. So health sciences are popular. And then communications, we have the oldest program in the country. We're very well known also for criminal justice and kinesiology, and we are a big sports school. We're part of the Big Ten Division I. We have 17 degree granting colleges. We also have 3 residential colleges that are popular for students who want that big college experience, but also like the idea of a more intimate academic experience where they're living and studying with students who share similar academic interests. Those are, our largest one is in the STEM areas and is popular among pre-med students. Our mid-size is for students interested in political science, public affairs, and international relations. That's a popular residential college for pre-law students. And our smallest is for students interested in arts and humanities. At Michigan State University, we really want students to build their own experience, both inside and outside the classroom. Entrepreneurship is definitely promoted, and we have startup resources available. We have both financial and academic support for undergraduates as well. And we have a popular minor in entrepreneurship. About 700 students in all different majors participate in that. We're big on undergraduate research. We also are a tier 1 top research institution with research can start the end of freshman year, but like Kenny said, same with Michigan State, usually sophomore through senior year, and any major. And for education abroad, that is a big part of many students' experience. We just got ranked #13 in the country by US News. We have 275 programs. We go everywhere, including Antarctica. We're doing climate research and penguin research there. and we actually give scholarships for education abroad. We also promote student involvement. We have over 900 clubs and organizations on campus. And if you do choose to apply for fall of 2021, we are also going test optional, and basically everything that Kenny said also applies to how Michigan State is handling it as well. We have just gone test optional as a result of COVID. So certainly for fall of 2021, we will then analyze, and in the spring we'll make a decision whether we want to continue being a test optional school. If you choose to apply, you can apply either on an MSU application, common application, and that is the most common way, or the coalition application. I am the person who reads and reviews applications from Northern California. So I would be reviewing your application. I would be taking a look at your official transcript, looking at course rigor, and also looking at grade trend. We do require an essay, and you get to choose the essay prompt that you want to write about. We do not look at recommendation letters. So if you choose to apply to MSU, I wouldn't even include a recommendation letter. I would save that request for schools that either recommend or require. We don't have any minimum grade point average. Fall 2019, the middle 50% was 3.5 to 4.0 weighted. So we do weight your transcript. I will say that in my territory, about 75 to 80% of students get one of those nice letters in the mail that says, congratulations, welcome to the Spartan family. And lastly, I want to mention that we do give generous domestic out-of-state scholarships as well. And if you are a veteran, if your parents were in the military, either were or are, then we give in-state tuition for military dependents. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. Next up, you're going to hear from Penn State.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us this evening as I vamp to share my screen here. My name is Isabel. I am the California recruiter for Penn State, but despite being based out of State College, Pennsylvania now, I am from Sonoma County. I grew up in Santa Rosa, and my parents are still there, so it's a real treat for me to be able to speak with all of you today. So a little bit about Penn State. Penn State is a top 1% world-class university, and we are ranked among 18,000 institutions worldwide. There are countless reasons why we have earned that high ranking, and just a few of them are highlighted here on this screen. Our top-ranked career services resources are available at all of our campuses and within all of our academic colleges, and they provide access to internships, research opportunities, co-ops, and of course, employment opportunities, which sets up our students for success after graduation and throughout their entire professional career. Our 93% retention rate is about 30% higher than the national average, and our 85% graduation rate is about 12% higher than the national average. As you can see here, we provide over 300 study abroad programs. Those range from shorter embedded programs, about 1 week to 2 weeks long, usually over spring break or winter break, to the more traditional semester or year-long education abroad experiences. We've gotten our Penn Staters on every continent on this globe, including Antarctica recently, and currently our study abroad programs extend to over 50 different countries. And despite being a large institution, we still boast a 16:1 student to faculty ratio. And our Research 1 status allows us to provide significant research opportunities to all of our students, whether they are studying in the STEM fields or the humanities or the arts. And we encourage and support our students in research participation as early as their freshman year. Our unique campus system ensures that our students are all part of one world-renowned university, but they do have the options to be able to customize their Penn State experience to really what will work best for them. Our different campus locations give our students the ability to create their ideal Penn State experience based on campus size, geographic location, environment, and cost. So our largest campus in the center here is University Park. That's our main campus, and it has about 46,000 undergraduate students. So that's going to be the classic Big Ten campus experience. But we do have campuses as small as 400 students, so a very small, intimate, personal feel. And we also have a unique 2+2 plan, which allows our students to start almost any degree program at any of our 20 campuses and finish the last 2 years of their Penn State degree at the ending campus that offers their degree. Because this allows for even greater flexibility and options, over half of all Penn Staters actually earn their degrees through this popular 2+2 plan. We have over 275 academic programs, including several wonderful honors programs. While we are most well known for our College of Business, our College of Nursing, and our College of Engineering, we have so many other incredible academic programs. Our Schreyer Honors College is one of the top public honors colleges in the country. And because the vast majority of our students do not declare their major until the end of sophomore year, you will have the time and flexibility to make sure that you are earning the right degree for your goals and interests. And of course, while academics should be your primary focus, no matter which institution you attend, your college years are really a special time for you to take advantage of every opportunity to grow, not just as scholars, but as people with a wide variety of interests and passions. And the best way to do that is absolutely to get involved on campus. Penn State fosters an incredibly vibrant and active student body. As you can see here, over 95% of our students are involved in at least one student club or organization, probably more. Our over 1,200 student clubs and activities really run the gamut from club sports, intramurals, Greek life, pre-professional societies, clubs based on religious, political, and cultural traditions and interests, to academics-based organizations, and clubs that are truly just completely for fun and for meeting other students with similar hobbies and interests. As far as what you need on an application this year, Penn State focuses primarily on academics in our admissions evaluation. So for this year, we will require just an online application, and we have our own application, but we are also on the Common App and the Coalition. And then we will need a self-reported academic record where we will use your 9th through 11th grades and your senior year schedule to evaluate your application. We are test optional this year, possibly for the future as well, but that is yet to be determined. Students who do not submit a test score will not be disadvantaged in any way at all, including for academic scholarships. It simply just means that we will weigh your high school academics more heavily. We do not require any essays or other supplemental material for our general application. We have an early action deadline of November 15th, which is non-binding. And after that date, we will just move to rolling admissions, and then we will evaluate applications based on the order that they are received and as space is available. And here you can see our middle 50% average statistics can be a helpful tool to help estimate your chances of eligibility. But please keep in mind that these numbers are not to be taken as minimums or cutoffs or guarantees whatsoever. They are simply an estimating guideline. I am coming up at the end here. I see Courtney on the screen. So here is some additional social media information as well as my contact information. So please reach out to me if you want to find out even more about Penn State, what it's like to be on the East Coast as opposed to the West Coast, and other ways where you can just learn more about our wonderful university. So thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Isabel. Our final presentation tonight will be from the University of Kansas.
All right, super excited to talk to everyone about the University of Kansas. Just a little bit about us. We're located in Lawrence, Kansas. We are a mid-sized institution, so we're just kind of right there in the middle in terms of overall undergrad population, which is something I really loved as a Jayhawk. Just right over 19,000 undergraduate students. And we do have students that come from all over. About 40% of our undergrad population actually come from out of state, which is a really good mix that we really, really like. Also, a great thing about the university is that we are part of the AAU, the Association of American Universities, just in terms of quality, which I'll talk about more in a second. But we actually have about 10,000 students less than other AAU universities. So in terms of opportunities to really engage with your faculty member, get involved in research, things like that, you have a lot of opportunities to do that because you're just competing against less students. Also with that, we are in the bottom third of cost in comparison to other AAU schools. So in terms of getting the biggest bang for your buck, we really provide that for our undergraduate students. We are also really known for hands-on learning at our campus. So if you're really looking for ways to get involved in things outside of the classroom, that's really what KU specializes in. Some of our biggest areas of study on our campus are the biological sciences. We're really big for pre-med, just because we have a med center about 40 minutes away from our main campus that is a certified cancer center. We're also really known for our School of Engineering, which does a lot of like green technology research, centering around climate change. Psychology is really big on our campus. Our School of Business, we have a fantastic sales team that really gives our undergraduates opportunities to compete in sales competitions. So they're highly recruited upon graduation. And again, that research component, again, that hands-on learning, because we're an AAU institution, the only AAU school in the state of Kansas and being the flagship institution of the state, a lot of our students have opportunities to engage in research right alongside their professor. And like some of the other schools mentioned, again, you can start on that experience your first day as a freshman. So we have students doing groundbreaking research like robotics research. We have Brian McClendon on staff who was the founder of Google Earth. We have an astronaut on staff that teaches in our School of Engineering. So again, you're learning from some of the best people in their fields that are literally creating knowledge. You're learning about that as soon as it happens right inside the classroom. Also, Lawrence as a community, we are a prototypical college town. That's something that we really pride ourselves on. You're definitely gonna get that college experience. If you come to Lawrence, you're gonna get that rah Jayhawk spirit all the time, no matter where you go in our community. And there's always something going on, whether that's on campus or whether that's off campus down on Massachusetts Street, or you can go to Clinton Lake, which is just 10 minutes west of Lawrence. If you want to go paddleboarding, you want to go hiking, you want to go camping, you can do all of that in Lawrence. But one of our biggest selling points is our location. Lawrence is essentially located between Topeka, our state capital, and Kansas City, which is the major metropolitan area for the region. So in terms of internships, this is huge for our students. You can be in class on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but you can be up in Kansas City at one of the over 500 engineering firms on Tuesday, Thursday. And so our students are able to hold down those internships for semesters at a time, as opposed to only having those opportunities maybe during winter break or summer vacation. So again, we're really big on resume building. Our students graduate with full resumes and full portfolios to show potential employers what they have already accomplished, as opposed to what you potentially can do. Also, we're really big on tradition at KU. We're a really big basketball school, even if you don't like basketball. Literally our first coach was the inventor of basketball. So we're a very tradition rich institution. We have a very strong knit community on our campus and a lot of opportunities to get involved in student orgs, to leave a legacy on campus, things like that. Our admission requirements, again, like other schools, we are test optional. So not having a test score does not impact you at all in terms of admission. If you have a 3.4 or above, you are guaranteed admission or any of these other requirements. All of our professional schools are test optional, except for our School of Business right now. So you can be admitted into any of those freshman and mini professional schools without a test. A couple of really important dates and deadlines just to keep in mind. We do have a November 1st early action deadline, again, non-binding, but it does get you eligible for just some additional KU swag and other benefits down the road. And then our scholarship deadline is December 1st. So really making sure you have your application filled out. And if you have your FAFSA filled out by December 1st, you will be among the first group to get your financial aid award package towards the mid to late December time. So you know exactly what you'll be getting in terms of assistance from the university. And that's all I have. So throw some questions in the chat. Happy to answer any other questions you have about the university.
Awesome. Thank you, Casey. We have just a couple more minutes, and what I would like to do is, if you have any questions for our panelists, make sure you throw those in the chat. But in the last remaining minutes, I would like to give each of the panelists 10 seconds to give their best piece of advice to our seniors and families that are listening tonight. And I think I'm going to put him on the spot. John, would you mind going first?
Sure. Keep your options open. And I say this, I know for you, I'm the local school, but I'm originally from Washington, D.C. And the only reason I'm in California today is because I took a leap and made a jump across the country. So look at local schools like me, but look at schools like Penn State across the country, because the place that's going to serve you best might be on the other side of the country or the world, frankly.
Great advice. Viviana, do you have a piece of advice?
Yes, I'd say, yeah, definitely keep your options open. Don't be scared to apply local or out of state. I think as long as, you know, you're pursuing those interests that you want to do, or if they have internships or athletic programs that you want to do, like really do your research and kind of go beyond some of the places that you have in your list.
Kenny, what kind of wisdom would you like to throw down?
Don't stress too much about your essays. Sometimes students worry a small typo is going to get them denied. It's probably some other things, and not that one typo or that missing period. You know, get to the point in your essays. Usually I encourage a lot of students to review their essays. Usually the first half you can cut off as the first draft. But yeah, just to answer the question is a big one.
That's an excellent, excellent piece of advice. Naomi, what would you like to advise?
Well, I want to add on to what Kenny was talking about with the essay, and definitely speak about yourself. So I've been reading essays for a long time, and so often I learn a lot about people's families or neighbors or something like that. But this is your application, and we really want to get to know you better, especially a school like mine that's a large school and we don't have the opportunity to interview you. One other thing I just also want to mention, this year the Coalition app and the Common app have a separate place where you can write about COVID if it has in fact affected you or how it's affected you. I would encourage you to use that space if you're going to do that rather than the other essay option that you have. And that's it. Thank you.
Great point. Isabel.
Sure, thank you. So actually, thank you to John as well for that East Coast shout out. So as a Californian that's now on the East Coast, I do appreciate that. And I'll kind of piggyback off of that and just say that, like I said in the presentation, really just take advantage of your 4 years in college to explore yourself as a person as much as a scholar. So that being said, don't stress out too much about this whole college process. It's extremely stressful and scary, especially during this time. And just know that your success in the future is really going to be much more dependent on you than the institution that you ultimately attend. You will be great no matter which of these wonderful schools we've shared the evening with, whichever of our schools you choose. So don't stress too much. Reach out to the counselors for any personal help you might need.
And Casey.
Yeah, I think just really spend this time thinking about what type of experiences you want to get out of your time in college. Is it research? Is it not research? Is it joining a student organization? Is it activism? Is it I'm trying to think of like internships, those types of things. So really, like, I would make a list of just types of experiences you want to have in college, and then try to find universities that align with that, as opposed to doing it in another order. So that would be my biggest piece of advice.
Well, I hope you know by now that these people on the screen are here to help you through the process. You probably knew that you had your school counselors, your parents, siblings, other family members to help you, but you may not have known that you have a person at every single college and university that you're considering there to help you out. So best wishes this year and throughout your college search process. And I just have one more final note for you all. Thanks so much for joining us. As you close your window tonight, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you might be able to give. In about a week, you'll be able to access this session's recording as well as any other recordings from this program. Thanks so much and have a great night, guys.